Hey everybody, welcome back to Andyland. It's your girl Andy. It is day 5 of our Valentine's Day countdown, and today's look is this brown soft glam. I'm actually still obsessed with this look. If you have missed any of the other videos in this Valentine's Day countdown series, I will put the link up in the corner for you. I really wanted to make sure that this countdown had a look for everybody, just in time for Valentine's Day, no matter what you and bae are doing, or if you're by yourself like me. Yes, I am team single, but it's okay because we still happy over here. So if you would like to see how I got this look, be sure to subscribe to my channel and keep watching. As always, brows first. I'm prepping my brows with the NYX Brow Glue and just running that through my brows to keep those brow hairs in place and let that dry while I prime my face using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This is a primer that grips to your makeup products literally. So if you had issues with makeup staying in one place, it coming off your face, I would recommend a gripping primer like this one. I'm taking the Milk Hydro Setting Spray and I'm going to spray my face all over, let it air dry, and then set around my mouth and nose with the Maybeline Fit Me loose powder in the shade Deep 35. I do these extra steps because when I go out, I like to make sure that my makeup stays in place without me having to touch up. I do have oily skin, which can cause makeup to move, so me setting my face, spraying my face multiple times helps. For brows, I'm using the Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Chocolate, and I'm going to really define my brows today. I was going to an event, so I wanted a really defined brow, really sculpted brow, and that's why I decided to use the pomade instead of that pencil, which I still love. Don't worry, it'll come back in another look. To clean up underneath my brows, I'm going to take the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C13. I am only cleaning up the under of my brows. I do need to get my brows waxed eventually, but I mean, maybe I'll do that for Valentine's Day and treat myself. Once I place that concealer, I'm going to take a buffing brush and buff it in. I try to get a concealer that's close to my skin tone so it blends in pretty nicely. I'm using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade Tan Latte as my eyeshadow base today. So plopping that on my eyelids and then taking a flat brush and blending that out, making sure it's smooth so that way my eyeshadow will sit nicely on top of it without any patches or lumps or any of that weird stuff. Next, I'm going to set that concealer into place using the Airspun Translucent powder. I'm just going to take a fluffier brush and pat. We're using one of my favorite Morphe palettes today, the 3503. I'm going to take the color Smolder. It's a nice chocolatey dark brown. Using a precise brush, I'm going to apply that starting at my outer corner and blending it up towards my crease. I'm using a precise brush so I can control how far the color goes. Because it is dark, I definitely wanted to go in a little bit at a time and be careful, so I'm just patting the color in and then blending it out to where I want it. The next shade I'm going in with is called Major Hottie. It's like an orangish brown shade. I'm taking a fluffier brush and I'm placing that right next to the first color we put on, the dark brown called Smolder, and I'm blending it in a little bit at a time into the darker color and into my crease. I'm going back in with that first shade Smolder, and I'm going to take a fluffier brush and just reapply that to the outer corner. It got a little muted during the blending process, and that happens sometimes. Excuse my sister in the background, she's home from college. I'm going back in with Major Hottie and blending that a little more this time towards the inner corner of my eye. I'm not putting any other shadows but these two colors, so I wanted to just make sure that they blended seamlessly with each other. Now that I'm done applying shadows, I'm taking a clean brush and I'm going over the entire eye, blending back and forth. Now for foundation, I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation in the shade 480C. My new fave. I'm obsessed. You guys, if you've watched my other videos, already know this foundation is flawless. Using this Morphe blush, I'm using this Morphe brush. I'm going to tap, tap, tap and blend it out. Using my damp Sonia Kashuk sponge, I'm going to go over my entire face just to make sure that there aren't any harsh brush strokes and that there's an even layer of foundation on my face. Taking the Benefit Cosmetics Professional Setter, I'm going to spray my face and then use my brush to pat it in. The first concealer I'm going in with is the Fenty Beauty ProFilt'r concealer in the shade 410. The first layer of concealer is always to add extra coverage, conceal any extra dark spots, and the second layer of concealer is to highlight. So this is the first, and I'm going to pat it in using a brush. Using the booty of my sponge, I'm going to go over the corners of the concealer just to make sure it's well blended. Next, I'm taking the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C12 right in the inner corner of my eye. This is really bright and this will help open the eyes up a little bit. The next concealer I'm going to put underneath that is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Honey. This kind of helps make the smoother transition between the bright under eye and the contour, which is the Juvia's Place foundation stick in the shade Katsina. I'm actually running out of this and I did buy a new one, but if anybody has any new contour products that they recommend, I would like to try something new. So leave them in the comment section down below and I'll see what you guys have been using. I like to use a smaller brush to blend out my nose contour. This brush is one that I got from TJ Maxx. Or was it Marshall's? I think it was TJ Maxx. It came in a set. So TJ Maxx and Marshall's are great places to buy brushes. I buy brushes that I use in my kit all the time, not just on myself. And they're actually really good quality brushes for not a big price. So taking that same damp sponge, I'm going to blend out my concealer starting on the outer edge and working my way towards the inner corner of my eye. I'm patting, I'm not swiping the product anywhere. I'm literally just dabbing my sponge up and down until it looks the way I really want it to and I have the desired coverage. Once I've blended the concealer, I'm using the booty of my sponge again to go over all of the lines where my concealer and contour meet, just to make sure it's smooth. I'm going to set using my Huda Beauty powder in the shade Blondie. I'm going to take that sponge, make sure I have an even layer, and press the powder underneath my eye and everywhere else that I applied concealer. This helps to make sure that your face is flawless. You guys see that instant filter-like look that it just gave my skin? And it helps keep your makeup from moving. So especially around my mouth, I like to make sure I press it in to make sure that that concealer stays. Helps with laugh lines, and I'm a happy girl, so I'll be cackling, okay? I like to set the rest of my face before I go into bake, so I'm using the Fenty Beauty ProFilt'r foundation powder in the shade 410, and I'm taking a fluffy brush and patting that all over my face. To bake, I'm going in with the Mercier Translucent Honey Powder. I'm taking that along the sides of my nose to help chisel it out, underneath my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, and around my mouth. To bronze, I'm using the Kylie bronzer in the shade Tawny Mami. I'm going to apply that to all the areas where I applied my contour. This will bring some warmth back into my face. And I was really liking the tan vibe that I was getting. I'm going to take a smaller brush and define my nose contour, bringing that up into my eyebrows, blending that in with my eyebrows and kind of like the outer edges of my eyeshadow as well. For blush, I'm using the Covergirl True Match blush in the shade Hot Frenzy. I'm applying that right above my bronzer and at the tip of my nose. Now for the lower lash line, I'm going back into the Morphe palette, taking the first shade we used, the dark brown called Smolder, and I'm going to smoke that out onto my lower lash line and up into the outer corner of my eye. I'm taking the other color we used, Major Hottie, and doing the same exact thing. Using my powder brush and dusting off my bake. I'm going to spray my face using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Whew, that's a mouthful. And I'm going to pat that in using my brush. I'm using the Better Than Sex mascara from Too Faced on my lashes today. Just combing those through my lashes and getting them ready for when I put my falsies on. I'm taking the Epic Ink liner from NYX in the color brown, and I'm going to do kind of like a half liner. I'm not taking it out all the way to my wing. I'm just into a wing. I'm just kind of starting from my inner corner and going halfway, kind of into where the deep brown shade starts, and then I'm going to take a brush and blend out the edge of that liner using the deep brown shade Smolder. I'm going to go put on these Luxe Mink lashes and be right back. I'm taking this NYX liner in the shade Flower, and I'm taking that to my waterline. It's like a pinky nude, so I didn't really want quite white, but I did want a brighter color in my waterline. Then I'm going to line my lips using another NYX pencil. This one's in the shade Espresso, and I'm going to take that all over my lips. For lipstick, I'm taking the NYX Shout Loud lipstick in the shade A La Mode, and I'm going to just pat that in and go on top of that with my Morphe gloss in Freebird. I'm going to spray my face with the Benefit Professional Super Setter. At this point I was actually super late, so I was trying to hurry up. But my face was actually flawless. Look at the beat, guys. You see it? Then I'm going to take the Fenty Beauty highlighter in the shade Mean Money and Hustla Baby. I actually cannot find this highlighter and I'm actually pretty upset, but I'm making my exclamation point on my nose, and then I'm going to take my foundation brush and just kind of tone it down just a tad bit, just a tad. And then I'm going to spray my face for the last and final time with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray and let my face air dry. Alright guys, this is the final look. Super cute, super sexy. All the products that I used on this look will be in the description box below. Please be sure to like and comment down below your favorite thing about this look in this video. I'm so excited to see you guys in another video tomorrow for day 6. But for now, just subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss all the other uploads in this series. And yeah, that's it. Bye.